Anyone? Anyone? You got an answer for me? How do used games become used games? Well, they need to be purchased before they can even become used, right? Because you can't immediately make a product and then it's immediately used. No, it's brand fucking spanking new in a nice little shiny plastic sleeve and all that other all that newfangled new shininess, and that's why it's fucking $50. So yeah, something, in order for something to be used, it has to be new at some point. Cause unless you're a fucking Time Lord, that's not gonna happen. So it's well known the developers get no profit from used game sales, at least in terms of GameStop. And honestly, this makes sense given that they've already gained their profit from the people buying their games already. So why is it that they're complaining about used game sales when in fact they've already gained the estimated profit from their games from being bought by customers in the first place? Because remember here, in order for a game to be used, it must first be new. So somebody had to have bought the game already and then give it back after they finished with it, not satisfied, whatever, and then in order for GameStop or whoever to sell it as a used game. Because new games are not immediately sold as used at GameStop. That's like trying to bend space and time. You can't do that. Someone had to have paid money for it, and the money went to the developer as intended. Thus, someone buying a copy of Dead Space that someone bought day one does not even affect EA in the slightest, or not much at all, since the original owner already paid $50-$60 for the game when it was new. The same goes for little Jimmy giving his copy of Dead Space to his best friend, because he'll no longer play it, as he already paid the cash to which EA already has from him buying the game new. And since his friend wants Dead Space, and Jimmy won't play it anymore, he gives it to his friend. So, this makes sense, right? You know, used games and whatnot. So, now, I can see the issue that that friend or used game buyer could have been a quote potential profit for buying a new copy of Dead Space or whatever game you want to put there. Sure, I'll buy that. But what about when the game is old? When it's a year or so later and there's no new copies being made or sold? What then? The only way to buy it is used, because it's old at this point. So this leads me into the online pass that EA loves to whore out on their games. The online pass is targeted at dropping the used game market, or at least profiting from it. What it does is that should you ever buy a used game from EA, you will have to pay X amount of dollars in order to play this game, after you've already paid X amount of dollars to GameStop for buying it used. This means that if you bought Dead Space used, or whatever EA game you want to throw in there, you'd have to pay extra just to play it because EA hates used games, and they love money. This also goes for single-player games as it does online games. So the bottom line is, EA and others implementing this kind of practice are implementing an inconvenience on customers for the sake of getting an extra dollar. And it's fucking flat-out greed. You got your fucking money already, EA. You already got our $50-$60 from us buying your goddamn collector's editions, your non-collector's editions, your CSI Miami editions, whatever the fuck. We paid you your goddamn money when it's brand new. You think no one buys your games new? You're fucking stupid. You're fucking stupid, EA, because any moron can see that when you put out your blockbuster titles, fucking Battlefield 3, and Dead Space, and Dragon Age, and anything coming out of BioWare's collective rectum, people are gonna line up and buy that shit day one. You know this. Anyone with a fucking brain knows this. And, Yeah, also, what's the deal with implementing that online pass bullshit for games that are older than fuck now? Hmm? What's the deal with that? There's another thing I'll get into, but I'll get into that a bit later. So, continuing on, so, you got your stinking money already, EA. When people bought your game when it came out. The people buying it used were either too poor to afford your $50 plus price tag, couldn't find it new later on because it's no longer in production or it's sold out, or it was a gift between friends and family to save money, because we are in pretty hard economic times, if you've forgotten. Oh wait! You didn't notice because you're too busy siphoning money off the fucking customers. So, yeah, your online pass is punishing people who didn't or couldn't buy your games new while they were new. It also punishes consumers that are trying to fit into a limited budget. You know, people need to pay bills and whatnot instead of playing your fucking games. Are you still going to charge people 10 extra bucks for someone to play a used game that's over 10 years old? I'm pretty sure you are doing it right now. Just so you want to get the fucking extra cash. So, you know, honestly, I can't really give a solution to the used game thing. I have ideas, but they're all circumvented by one singular factor, and this is corporate greed. I could pitch to GameStop to have a program where a small percentage of the used game sales go back to the developers, like, you know, say $10 worth per game, the same price as EA's online pass bullshit. And, you know, since GameStop needs the money from the used game business to stay alive, as well as whatever GameStop paraphernalia they have, if I'm even saying that word right. And, you know, I could plead with EA to stop being the greedy fucktards they are, and realize that they're being utterly shellfish and alienating their customers and just all around being douchebags. Or maybe EA can do a greatest hits thing like Nintendo does and sell copies of their old games at used prices. I don't fucking know. The problem is that someone, either in the developers camp or GameStop's camp, are going to go, nope, and be complete assholes rather than cooperating for the benefit of both customer and business partner alike. So, that's pretty much it. Yeah. This has been Mystery Chaz Theater. I don't think I introduced myself at the beginning of this video. I am ChazDragoon. If you didn't know that, why are you even on my channel? That's just something I wanted to put out there. Little topics, you know, kind of get me thinking and whatnot. Used games, piracy, and DLC, and it's just, why? Why would you people do these things? It's just, it doesn't make any logical business sense. It makes greed sense. And eventually, people are going to finally wake up, look at their wallets, look back to you, and say, no, fuck this. You are not getting my money. This is bullshit. I have better things to pay for. I'm not gonna pay $10 extra on top of a $50, $60 game just to have a goddamn side quest day one that should have been in the game initially. I'm not gonna pay 10 extra fucking dollars or so just to play a game that's a couple years old or is used, just because, you know, you're too fucking greedy to stick with the profits you made from your new games when they came out. And I'm certainly not going to pay money, or even bother playing your games that have an inconvenient method just to curtail piracy, when in fact you could do something much better and provide a service that makes me want to pay money, that makes me want to support you. Not saying I'm going to go pirate something, because I'm not. Just saying, why the fuck would I take my money to some business that treats its customers like shit and disregards customer service and satisfaction? It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So, that's it. It's Mr. Chaz Theater, Side Edition, Gaiden, whatever. Buy smart, and, if you hate this kind of shit too, put your money where your mouth is. Tell those fuckers you're not getting your money until you change your methods, your business practices. We're the ones keeping you people alive, and we're not gonna be treated like shit. So, if you got a comment, leave it in the comments. And that's about it. So, see ya.